Just as conditions cleared up a bit late this afternoon, our news teams hit the street, and Chris, I can tell you it was a mess out there.
It's definitely a mess out there. Everywhere you go, you see the debris down. Clint Watson, though, went east and south to check out conditions.
When we talk about flooding in the east, this is the kind of conditions many people have to deal with, even though this is considered low, particularly for this close to the eastern shoreline and eastern coastline. But as you walk further out to the sea, this gets deeper and deeper and deeper. As you can tell by my boots, the further I go, the deeper it actually gets, letting you know this is impossible right now to vehicular traffic. And of course, these neighbors and these residents around here are stranded in these homes if they're still here. Hopefully, they would have heeded the call to evacuate. We're going to stop going further and further back because we don't want to get stuck in this water. But as you can see, it's almost knee deep out here on the Yamacraw Beach shore. When we talk about staying off the roads until the all clear is given, there's a reason for that. This is the Eastern Road, or what used to be the Eastern Road before it was severed in two, thanks to this tree which has totally separated the Eastern Road. You can't even pass on it, and you can't even see the other side of the Eastern Road. Sheer devastation.
A lot worse than I've ever expected. I didn't think it would be that bad. I've seen lots of hurricanes. I tend to take them lightly, and this is a lot worse than I've ever experienced myself.
The magnitude of this tree, obviously, for this to be pushed over, that must have talked about the magnitude of the winds.
Yes, that's not my property, but it's pretty strong. These trees have been around for a long time.
How did you fare? How did your property fare?
Fairly well. I was very afraid of the sea. The sea was much worse than I've ever seen, but we were okay.
Did you get to see any of the storm surge come over? Did that happen on this side of the island?
Yes, probably not as bad as the south, higher property, but I've never seen waves come over some of the walls that have in the past, have not come up in the past.
About how high you say the waves were?
It's hard to say. At low tide, when you normally have about 6 inches of water, we had about 4 feet of water. And high tide, it was probably at least 4 feet, and then the waves on top of that.
It's one of the main concerns right now in the capital, the amount of debris in the streets, making it difficult for vehicles to pass. From concrete signs to down power lines and trees in yards. And even roofs flying across the street, landing in other properties' yards. The devastation was evident. Flooding also an area of concern, particularly in the east, where you can see yards flooded as high as several feet, although we're told in other areas of the capital it was much more than that. And while it's estimated that the cleanup could take some time, there's still hope and encouragement on the faces and hearts of many we spoke to. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.